Good morning, St Wilfrid. How are we this week? Are we all right? Some of us have gone back to school, some of us are still at home. How was half term? Did you do anything really nice over half term? Good. Well, I'm really pleased to hear it. Now, I wonder, do you remember before half term in assembly, we were talking about Jesus' ascension and his going up to heaven to be with his Father in heaven, and the promise that he made of sending the Holy Spirit so that we wouldn't be on our own. Well, today we're going to talk about that. So we're going to talk about the day of what's called Pentecost, the day that churches all over the world celebrate the coming Holy Spirit. It's the day that we call the church's birthday, because it's kind of the first day of the church, and you'll see why as we tell the story. If you remember, Jesus told the disciples to wait, didn't he? He gave them a promise. He said, I want you to do this job. I want you to go into all of the world, and I want you to tell everybody everywhere all about me and about God's love. And I want you to baptize them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I want you to show them how to follow me. So that's what the disciples did. They went and they waited, because Jesus has said, you have to wait though. You have to wait for the Holy Spirit to come upon you, and he will come and be with you and equip you to do all those things. Because can you imagine being asked to do something that's that big, being asked to go and tell other people all about someone who has just been killed and come back to life? And a lot of people were scared of him and scared about him. So anyway, they went and they waited for 10 days. And as they were waiting, they kind of did the bit of their jobs, and they prayed, and they got on with life a little bit, really. And they were having a festival, and in the room they were waiting and they were praying together, Jesus' friends and his family. Now, what do you think happened? As they were waiting, imagine if you were in a room. Imagine if you were waiting for something to happen, but not really knowing what would happen. I wonder how you would feel. Let's have a little think. What are some of the words that we might use that would describe how we would feel if we were waiting for something to happen, but we didn't really know what was going to happen? We might feel anxious, mightn't we? We might feel excited. We might feel a little bit nervous. We might be a bit bored because we've had to wait for so long. We might think that it's never going to happen, that it was all a load of rubbish. We might be kind of waiting with anticipation. We might be hopeful, might we? All of those things, I think, probably the disciples felt, and Jesus' friends felt. I think they felt all of those things as they waited, because they weren't really sure what was going to happen. So what did happen was something that was really weird, but really wonderful at the same time. And sometimes things happen, don't they, in life, that are really weird and really wonderful. So we're going to tell the story now, and I need you to help me. So every time I say weird, can you say but wonderful? All right, so we'll do some faces, we'll do some hands and things as well. So we'll do, every time we say, that was really weird, we can say, but also really wonderful. That was really weird, but also really wonderful. Okay, so Jesus' friends and his family, Jesus' disciples had followed Jesus. And they'd seen him doing all these really weird but really wonderful things. They'd watched him get arrested, and they'd watched him die on the cross. Then there was that weird but wonderful Sunday when he came back to life. They'd had a picnic on the beach, which was weird but wonderful. Jesus took them up the hill, out of the city, and he said goodbye. And he promised that he would always be with them. And that was weird, but wonderful. And then she just disappeared. And so Jesus' friends and family decided to keep together to work out what was weird, but really wonderful, and what was going to happen next. After 10 days, 10 days after Jesus had left them, something weird, but wonderful happened. They were in the room in Jerusalem when there was suddenly this really weird but wonderful noise, a bit like rushing wind. It was so loud that the windows clattered and the door banged. And it was coming from heaven, and the noise filled up the whole house. And it was like it filled up each of the disciples as well. It was like they were, when you blow an air, but a